For many people, their image of Greek American life comes from something like My Big Fat Greek Wedding. The 2002 film features a loud, loving, deeply connected family centered around food, tradition, and community. Taking place in Chicago's Greektown, the movie follows the Portokalos family, who owns a traditional Greek restaurant. In Chicago, that kind of community doesn't just exist on screen, it exists in a real place. Today, Greektown is a vibrant commercial district. Restaurants line Halsted Street. Greek flags hang overhead. Festivals bring thousands of visitors each year. But most people don't see that this is not the original Greektown. Greektown was once described as a mile long and 24 hours, a place with businesses, culture, and constant activity. The Greektown that once existed was a dense working-class immigrant neighborhood. It was filled with bakeries, coffee houses, churches, and homes where generations lived together. Urban renewal in Chicago wasn't simply an effort to modernize the city. It was a deliberate reconstructing of urban space that prioritized infrastructure, economic growth, and institutional expansion over the preservation of existing communities. The destruction and relocation of Greektown reveals that urban renewal was not just a process of physical redevelopment, but one that systematically dismantled cultural identity in everyday life. By examining the construction of the Eisenhower Expressway and the University of Illinois Chicago Circle campus, this film argues that the displacement of Greektown was not accidental, but rather a direct result of planning decisions that valued land use efficiency and modernization over community. This is a pattern that continues to shape cities today. The 1909 Plan of Chicago imagined a modern city organized by infrastructure, with major corridors cutting through neighborhoods like the Near West Side. By the mid-20th century, these ideas became reality. Urban renewal was a nationwide planning strategy aimed at improving cities by clearing blighted neighborhoods and replacing them with modern infrastructure. It was framed as progress, a way to eliminate decay and build a better urban future. In practice, this meant identifying areas labeled as problem neighborhoods, assembling land through eminent domain, and demolishing entire communities to make way for highways, universities, and commercial development. Across the United States, this process displaced nearly 2 million people and demolished hundreds of thousands of homes, while only a fraction were replaced with affordable housing. The language of blight became a powerful tool, redefining lived-in neighborhoods as places of failure and justifying their removal. Urban renewal shaped entire sections of Chicago, targeting neighborhoods for clearance and development. Even today, traces of these erased communities remain, only visible as absences in the makeup of the urban area. Greek immigrants began arriving in Chicago in the late 19th century, settling in the Near West Side along Halsted Street. Founded in 1889, Hull House became a center of support, education, and community life, and served as a critical support system for immigrant communities. By the early 20th century, they concentrated in an area known as the Delta, formed by Halsted Street, Harrison Street, and Blue Island Avenue. This triangular space gained its name due to its resemblance to the Greek letter delta. This was one of the largest Greek communities in the United States, home to thousands of residents and hundreds of businesses. Churches anchored the community, acting as centers of religion, language, and identity. Daily life revolved around shared traditions: food, faith, and family. Public space was both social and functional. Celebrations extended into the streets. By the mid-20th century, the Greek population had grown significantly, forming one of the largest Greek communities in the U.S. But over time, that population would decline, reflecting broader patterns of displacement and suburbanization. Greektown existed within a broader, multi-ethnic, working-class neighborhood, home to Greeks, Italians, Jewish residents, and Black and Latino communities. Between 1954 and 1960, construction of the Congress Expressway, later named the Dwight D. Eisenhower Expressway, displaced approximately 13,000 residents and 400 businesses. Homes were demolished, streets disappeared. A community built over generations was dismantled in less than a decade. Just as the expressway reshaped the neighborhood, another project followed: the construction of the University of Illinois Chicago Circle campus. Many sites around the city were offered, but after much deliberation, none of the originally discussed sites were chosen. In 1961, Mayor Richard J. Daley selected Harrison Halsted in the near west side as the site for the new campus, acquiring over 100 acres of land. This announcement led to widespread protests from residents of the neighborhood. Women in the neighborhood, led by Florence Scala, held marches, formed a community group, and filed suit in both federal and state courts, but the Supreme Court ultimately refused to hear their appeal in 1963. Between 1962 and 1964, construction erased what remained of Greektown. Greek businesses relocated just north of the expressway, along Halsted Street between Jackson and Madison, but the residential community, the heart of Greektown, was largely dispersed. Despite displacement, Greek culture persisted. The first Greek Independence Day parade in Chicago began in 1965, celebrating identity in a changing city. Institutions like the National Hellenic Museum were created in order to preserve cultural memory. Greektown became a recognized commercial district by 1990, reinforced through streetscape renovations and cultural branding, but no longer a city where the community lived in the same way. Urban renewal promised progress: modern infrastructure, economic growth, institutional expansion, but it came at a cost. Communities were displaced, cultural networks were broken, neighborhoods were transformed, often permanently. The story of Greektown reveals a larger truth about urban redevelopment. The decisions made in the name of progress can reshape not just cities, but the lives and identities of the people with them. As cities continue to grow and change, the question remains: what should be preserved and who gets to decide?